Okay, so here is a continuation of Unit 4.1 homework, practice work actually. And I cleared the coordinate plane so we can start fresh. And it's going to say complete the statements. And a summary of this first sentence is we have the image of our triangle RNG, and we have the pre-image of triangle SYL. So this is the before. This triangle SYL is the before. Grab a red pencil. SYL. Oh, it's not red. This is red. SYL is the before. And let's say that this RNG is the after. Right? And it's asking us, okay, well, we're talking about the X values specifically. How can we find the X values um, from the pre-image and the image, or the before and the after? Well, remember just to, you really only have to worry about matching up one of the points. So I'm going to match up R and S on this one, because those are the ones that are matched up. N and G would match up, G and G and L would match up, and so would R and G. They would match up too. Right, but each one of those would move by the same magnitude over and the same magnitude up. But I'm just going to match up S and R because in the translation, every point moves over. Oh, excuse me, and up by the same magnitude. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that with S. So I have a -1 here, and then it looks like I have a negative. Sorry, correction. I have 1 here, right? Actually, let's use L. Let's use L. That way you can see it better. All right, so I have L right here. This is at 5. And then I have G here, which is at -6. And the difference between 5 and -6 is 11, right? It's going in a negative direction. So it should be 11 units. 11 units in the negative by subtracting it, negative direction. So let's just verify that. Let's see. So S. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, we're not doing S. We're doing L. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Double count that just to be sure. 1, 2, I want to move it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 blocks over. And then it's pretty obvious it's just one block up. So our change in Y is actually added. So it's adding one Y value. One Y value up. So it's Y is 11 and 1 block up. Okay, so that was number 1. Number 5 is pretty simple. Let's draw an angle DCV. Another way you can see it show this is triangle angle DCV. Okay, so I grab the orange one. D is starting point, V is end point, C is my vertex. So I'm going to go from D to C, and then V to C, and there is triangle DCV, and it looks pretty close to a right angle. I read ahead, so I kind of know that it is. Okay, so moving on to number 6. Number 6. All right, so we have triangle KZD. KZ ZD is the before image or the pre-image of triangle. We'll do green of triangle HBV. HBV is this one. Okay, HBV is this one. And it says, okay, and this was the algebraic description used to rotate that triangle. Looks like it's a 90-degree rotation. I went from this quadrant to this quadrant, and looks like we rotated this point to this point, this point to this point, and this point to that point. And let's see if that matches up with what the triangle says. So K got moved to H, and it looks like Z got moved to B, and looks like D got moved to V, VD, Z. This is a different. Wait a second. Let's see. K got moved to H. Yep. And then Z got moved to B. Yep. That's a little right. Okay. Describe the rotation and use the coordinates to show why it matches the algebraic description. Okay. So the algebraic description, this XY is just like any point on XY. So we'll go each point on XY. So I'm going to do my table method. X, that's a K. I do that a lot. How do I do that? I don't know, but I do that a lot. So I go, that's K. I'll make it a little fatter too. Probably kind of fat, right? So K, Z, D is my red triangle point. I have an X and a Y for that red triangle. And then I'm going to have a green triangle, and that triangle, its corresponding points are H, B, V, B, V. It's important that you line up the corresponding points. H goes to K, H goes to K, Z goes to B, Z goes to B, and D goes to V, D goes to V. It's important that you do that. And this one's X. It's like the X prime of that one. This one's a Y is, Y prime. But the change is matches with this. All right, so this is saying that the original X is the other point's Y. Right, sorry, correction, the original, the other point's Y is the, or correction, the other point's X is the original point's Y. And the image is the old points, or the final points Y is the original point's negative X value. So we'll show you how that looks like here in a minute. All right, so how do we do that? I'm going to go do that by taking my red marker and saying this one was the Y. Oops, that's not red. I go like this, red. This one was the Y value. No, it's still not red. This one is the Y value. That's the Y value. And this is the negative X value. So I've set my table up. I'm ready to start inputting data. Okay, so let's pull off my K. My K is X is -5. -5. And my Z, or my Y, is -7. -7. My Z is -3 and -5. -3 and -5. And my D value is -5 and -3. -5 and -3. So those are my points. So my Y points should be, all right, my H points should be, let's see, it's going to become, let's just do the Y's first. So that's just going to be an easy flop over. -7, -5, and -3. All right, so that's easy. Those all get crossed over. Okay, and then these got to be crossed over and then changed in sign, right? So it's going to become 5. This is going to become from -3 to 3. And it should become -5 to just 5. All right, so let's check to see if these points match. So there's H, -7, and 5. So -7 and 5. Did I miscount? That's 6. Is my K value K value 6? It seems to be. Okay, 6. My K was a 6. Look at that. It was a 6. Right, so this should have been a 6. That should have been a 6. That was an error. That was an error. It should have been a 6. So let me fix that. This should have been a 6. That was an error. So that was a 6. That makes this a 6. That makes that a 6. So that was an error. Okay. So double check that and make sure that that all checked out. All right. So let's see if I made any other errors here. So my other ones here, I was on green. Okay. So then I had -5, -5, and then 3. That checks out. That checked out. And then I had -3. Those are really bad check marks. -3. Check. Check. There we go. -3. -3. -1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's right. -3 and then 5. 5 is my V. So yeah, that now proved that I used really counterclockwise rotation of 90 degrees. Okay, so it went from here to, that was very counterclockwise, from here to here by 90 degrees. 90 degrees. All right, so now it's going to do the same thing. Let me move this one up a little. Get myself a little bit more room. This up a little bit this way. All right. And that should give me some room. Okay. A little bit more. All right. Okay. So now do the same thing with the algebraic description of TMW. TMW. It's going to say, is BHV the same one as TMW? So it's going to do the same process this time. We're still going to use green as BHW. So TMV is the pre-image and BHV is the same one. So it's a different order of same triangle, but different order of coordinates. So this is B. This one is BHV this time. BHV, right? Because we're going B W. And we're gonna tie that one to. That's not gonna look real great, but we'll use it anyway. B. Okay, so BHV is the order, and then we'll make TMV. We'll make it to pink, I guess. Pink shows up okay, I guess. Yeah, that shows up okay. All right, so we'll do. Now this is going to be TWM, and then our X value and our Y value, and then our that's double X, the X value and Y value, And then this is going to be negative x and negative y is what the change is. Negative x and negative y. Slipped on me a little, negative y. And then our x and y's are x and y. So this is a pretty easy transition. We just kind of change our symbols of all are different. Our signs of all of our different ones, right? So t, all right, so t is 5, negative 3, 5, comma, negative 3. Oh, I did that, but I did it differently. Okay, next one, w is 7, negative 6, 7, comma, negative 6. And then m is 3, negative 5, 3, comma, negative 5. So over here, we're going to just go ahead and put down our what this should transpose into, right? So our x becomes negative 5, and our y becomes 3. Hey, look, that's the same as that. We already checked it. Okay, w becomes h, and so our 7 becomes 7, but it flops signs, so it becomes negative 7. And our 6 becomes 6. Our negative 6 becomes negative 6, but it becomes 6 because it's flopped for y. So this becomes 6 and negative 6. This is the same h, and that is matches up there, so that checks. Okay, and then we have 3, negative 5, our m becomes v, so the 3 becomes negative 3, the negative 5 becomes 5. And I think then you can see that our v values are the same. Right, so this goes from here, and it rotates either way you want to see it. It rotates 180 degrees. So it differentiates 180-degree rotation from that. So it's 180 degree, 180 degree, 180 degree rotation. It doesn't matter if it's clockwise or counterclockwise because they are the same. All right, so that is the answers to 4 through 8. And I hope that was helpful. And I'm going to end this one so it'll save.